Join us as we embark on the extraordinary journey along the winding road to Station Cottage in Altnabreac, where each twist and turn unveils a story, drawn from first-hand witness accounts and the evidence that remains. In Part 3, we will delve into the tragic circumstances surrounding the intestate estate of the late David Howe, who passed away on July 26, 2019. This case provides a vital illustration of the provisions outlined in the Succession Act 1965 in the Republic of Ireland and the responsibilities bestowed upon those entrusted with managing an estate. As we know, Mr. Howe died intestate, meaning he did not leave a valid will. It was not until April 26, 2021, that the Kilkenny Court's Probate Office officially recognised this intestate status and granted probate to an executor, referred to as the grantee. The details of the grant are as follows. Surname, Howe. First name, David. Address, Ballybannon, Milford, Carlow, County Carlow. Grantee, Elizabeth Howe. Record number 2020 KY000561. Date of issue, April 26, 2021. Date of death, July 26, 2019. Grant type, intestate. It is important to note that Elizabeth Howe was appointed as the grantee, effectively designating her as the executor of her father's estate on the date of the grant. In addressing the distribution of Mr. Howe's estate, we turn our attention to the Succession Act of 1965. Specifically, Sections 66 and 67 delineate the requirements for the distribution of an intestate estate after the payment of all expenses, debts, and liabilities. According to Section 67, if an intestate dies leaving a spouse and children, the spouse is entitled to 2/3 of the estate, while the remaining third is distributed among the children. If there is no spouse, the estate is distributed entirely among the children. To further clarify, Mr. Howe's partner, Breda Moore, is not recognized as his spouse under the law. Furthermore, his former wife, Wendy Margaret Howe, does not qualify as a spouse either, having divorced Mr. Howe approximately 40 years ago. Therefore, David Howe's estate must be distributed in equal shares among his 4 children, Elizabeth, David, Alexandra, and Emma, as determined by the executor, Elizabeth Howe. A moment of reflection on the responsibilities of an executor or grantee is warranted. An executor has a fiduciary duty to act in the best interest of the estate and its beneficiaries. When selling estate assets, the executor is required to secure best possible price, often necessitating professional guidance and adherence to the consensus of the majority among beneficiaries, as outlined in Section 50 of the Succession Act 1965. Decisions must be made collectively, with utmost good faith and free from personal interests or conflicts. The executor must exercise due diligence in their actions. Failure to do so could result in legal ramifications from the beneficiaries for any losses incurred. Furthermore, the preservation of the estate's asset value is paramount. Therefore, maintaining appropriate insurance coverage for any real property at current market value is crucial. In the coming segments, we will explore whether the estate of the late David Howe was ultimately distributed among his 4 children, as stipulated by the Succession Act 1965. We will also examine whether any complications arose during this process. Stay tuned as we unfold the story of whether David Howe's estate was shared among his children in accordance with the law.